Hello, welcome to this video. Today I am going to speak quickly, my version of quickly, briefly, about sovereignty and what that exactly means, and how when we understand sovereignty and also unconditional love, which runs parallel to that truth, that this is where and how we eternally power our inner system. This is where and how and what the torpedo runs off of. Negative alignment runs similarly, except for there's an inverted twist to it. But I think for now, for this morning, to just speak about one thing at a time, we'll talk about positive alignment, positive use of service, intention, and sovereignty. And then I'll come back on another video perhaps and talk about what I've talked about it so many times over the years, honestly. So if you're looking to hear me talk directly about negative systems or the negative agenda or sort of mind control mechanisms, that all of that it can be impressed upon us, I have tons of old videos over on BitChute. Some of them are on YouTube, but some of them I did not put on YouTube because of the triggering language, and I didn't want my channel originally, I didn't want to have my channel sort of what I thought would be shadow banned or blocked, but I mean, I got kicked out anyway, so I guess it didn't really matter. They'll get you one way or another. But anyways, I'll try to find some links to put into that. The Negative Agendas, Tricks, and Traps is what that series was called, from a couple years back. But I'll pick some links out, some good videos of those, because I probably did like 30 or 40 videos in that kind of category. But anyways, for now, what I'd like to speak about this morning is just the positive side of things. So yeah. I'm fitting this video in my morning before school, so don't mind me drinking my coffee, please. So in itself, I've done, if you're not new to my channel, you followed me for a little while, I really appreciate your attention. You've heard me speak about unconditional love and sovereignty a few times. I've done dedicated videos on them before. But today, in today's world, in 2026 here, it's, I feel important to, again, bring to the forefront what the truth of the matter is. Really, what is the energy we're talking about? And how can we, notice, understand, work with that energy for our own selves, to do good work for ourselves. Because when we do good work for ourselves, we are doing good work for all other selves out there. Believe it or not, there's a huge trick to this sort of selfish serving the self, that the negative agenda really puffs up and makes it seem like it's a lot more to it than there really is. And that's to keep people confused and looped into their services. However, it's pretty plain and simple. It's cut and dry. As whenever you serve yourself, whenever you are intending to interact and exchange in any kind of way with the self at the forefront, of course, we're each a self, right? If you are coming from a place of intention that you serve yourself for your highest good, not a good that could come at the expense of any others, but the same good that you could take your place as a placeholder, your face as a placeholder, and put your grandmother, and put your grandfather, put your dad, put your child, put your best friend, your favorite person in the world. Like, I know sometimes naming family members can bring up these kind of like triggering, passive aggressive, or outright aggressive, or retaliative kind of feelings. But I don't mean to call that. I mean to call forth good service, to call love into the picture here. If every time you do something, you interact with self or do something for the self, if you can recognize and hold open the fact that you would serve another in the same way that you're serving yourself, And that if you serve another the way that you would serve the self, both of you could be God. Both of you can be source. Both of you can be a reflection of Jesus Christ, or whoever that is your connectivity to higher power. It doesn't, I know people with religions, I could offend people in this kind of way, but there's no right or wrong in a religion, in a dogmatic ideology sense, because infinite creator doesn't care about language and labels in the way that we do, or the way that we've convinced ourselves that we should. So whatever kind of greatness and goodness that you would like to put as that source creation, seeing each one of us as a reflection of that, as a placeholder for that energy, that life, that love, and understanding that God, source, birthed this creation with love as the intention, and loves the creation, loves to create, and to bear witness and experience and be a part of creation and newness, exploration of manyness, as sometimes I call it. Now, that eternal searching, that eternal growth of exploration, that is the fractal defining itself, is what this world is all about, and is what each is the seed of energy locked inside of each one of us. This is the sovereign gift given by God. Now, when I speak about sovereignty and encourage others to understand what it means, or to live in their sovereignty and respect other people's sovereignty, it's that initial connection. It's very simple. We don't have to go into huge hows and definitions and all these kind of things. It's a gold star everybody gets. If you're alive, if you're looking out eyeballs, if you're you, then you've been given it. And if you see aliveness out there with your eyes, then you are seeing a reflection of that gift given in a different way out there. All gifts are given by the Creator, and all of them have the same exact seed within them. That is the source of the power. Now, human beings here, us, Creator consciousness, we have been given free will. So we have conscious choice in the matter of whether we fertilize and encourage that seed to grow and to expand, or whether we cover it up, or degrade it in some kind of way, or we don't nourish it and don't allow it to really come to fruition. There's so many reasons as to why we do that. I'm not going to get into that right now. But the point being is that this gift is bestowed on everyone. And when we uncover and we enliven that acknowledgement of power and of oneness and of sameness, it unlocks the eternal flow of the torrido. This comes from the 0 point, the magical center. Like the word magic or not, it's mystical, it's mysterious, it's infinite, and it's to me the great secret of the Creator. And the Creator loves a good joke, and you don't want a joke spoiled, right? There's a reason that there's the lead up and the pun and the funniness to it. It all has to come together in the right way, and there has to be a bit of unknownness to it. If infinite Creator comes from infinity of having, containing allness, what is more pleasurable, better experience? And it would be that if we break in that infinite piece into finite pieces, that each piece would the discovery of it would be the point. It would be how many ways, which way, whys. All of these things come into discovery when infinite wants to discover what it is. So each one of us sort of has this fractal instructions within us to develop and discover on our own, along with the gift of free will, which says that we have this singular self-capacity, seemingly separate and segregated from the whole, to explore within the parameters of our given space. And what you choose and how you choose to go through that discovery is up to you. So recognizing that each one of us is given this gift, each one of us has this developmental process going on, and respecting and honoring that is really what I'm speaking about when I say sovereignty. Now, unconditional love, like I said, these two things run parallel to each other, and I don't want to say they run parallel because they actually, intersect, and but whatever, I don't get hung up on it. But they're seemingly sort of together as a team, because unconditional love, like I mentioned at the forefront, it's not just about good feelings. It's not about desires. It's not about wants and likes and feel goods. It's more of a neutral base that it recognizes sovereignty in everything and says, okay, I accept that. I allow that. I will hold space for that, is really what unconditional love is about. And that's why I say love is sort of like the chemical bond that holds or determines how things interact, holds together, comes apart, because it really is that kind of action, Now, if and when we can utilize sovereignty and unconditional love together, then we have a chance at understanding what balancing systems is about, because it gives open space for observations and for in this accepting kind of way, not in a predetermined way that has everything already set, that everything needs to match to it, because that in itself is highly negatively aligned. And it doesn't allow for free exchange. It doesn't allow for multi-directionality of input, of information, right? And that's really what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to encourage. When we can hold both of these things together, we start to unlock and understand more about how to flow, how to move through things, what eternity and everlasting energy really asks of us, and really is all about, because it's about withstanding and perseverance, and it's about longevity. It's not a sprint, it turns into the marathon. And how do we react and respond? How would we consider portraying ourselves and moving through situations if we know there's no end, if we know that it's all going to come back to one again, that it's all going to be just still here? Because it's so easy to kind of think, oh, well, somebody I don't like, my enemies, this thing I don't want in front of me, to just cut it out, cast it out, cut them down, kill them, they're gone, clear space for me now. But if you knew going into that like cutting off the top of a vine and leaving the root down in the ground, it's just going to come back. It's just going to grow again. It's going to be right there again. If you knew that, would you take a different approach to how you deal with problems? You probably wouldn't just slice and cut down things to just see a flat ground. You'd probably actually, oh yeah, things are rooted in the ground, and I better go and pull out all of those roots, or go find the places in which they're actually rooted within, to see what's going on there, to see why and how it's growing. And maybe even you decide, oh wait, they're not actually invasive like weeds or vines, they live life too, they're meant to have life, so you find you move the other things from around it, maybe that it was bothering, or you have more of a long-term true solutions that will actually want to come through and be asserted and addressed, if you know there's a later. If this is what people say about judgment and understanding. There's judgment and resurrection. And then those who don't want to talk about that, who want to believe that's not real or that doesn't happen, or they want to see it in a more impersonal kind of karmatic, many, many lives kind of way. I mean, I don't think it matters how you slice a circle, the diameter is the same at any cut. But if we really take that stance, we would see much different resolutions to a lot of problems. But of course, we don't right now in the world, because we have this sort of hijacking going on. But the positive systems persevere anyways. This is the thing about truth, eternity, everlasting systems, unlocking sovereignty and true love, unconditional love, is that it's true. It stays forever. It is just there. It doesn't do anything grand, and it doesn't do anything drastic. It's just there. And that in itself is sort of a key for us to unlock of how we could actually just be and understand and move through problems better, without sort of gravitating towards these like extreme responses, which actually deplete the system. They cause, spikes and imbalances that require stronger forces to bring in to correct and to bring in harmony. So, we should want to kind of avoid that in the first place, right? But it's difficult to get yourself in gear in a seeking of harmonious solutions if you have internal issues. If we have all of this kind of brainwashing and energy sort of contortions and spiritual hijacking and choking out that we've all been a part of, unfortunately, here in this world. So we really have to address that kind of stuff first. We really have to accept that that's happened, that that's the case, and stop making excuses or different backstories or anything, justifications and all these kind of things about it. Instead, to just simply see where we're at and observe. That's when the incorrections pop up. That's when, we see this thing doesn't actually fit together. We jammed this puzzle piece and that puzzle piece together, and it really looked like it was the same background, but now that I look at it again, I realize the tones are a little different, or the gradient is different here, and this piece doesn't match exactly the way it was. I pushed it too much, and we pull it out and look at everything again and find that right piece, find that correct circuitry, and then everything flows much, seamlessly. It really will take care of itself completely on its own if we allow it to. Just like the world, just like the earth will take care of itself if we allow it to. Just like a wound, just like this little burn I have right here, it's heal itself completely. I don't have to sit there and watch it. I don't have to wonder about it. I don't have to consciously think about it. But if you do, if you start to, is this going to get infected? Worry about this. What is that? Scratch at that. Let me put some extras on this. Let me try this. That's when we find, when we start interfering with natural processes with our own forefronted mind, thinking that we know the best solutions, when we've really pigeonholed ourselves into this little, sterile environment that actually the whole world doesn't operate within, then that's when we start to find some issues sometimes, right? So, really here to just encourage balance and remembrance of unconditional love and sovereignty. That's the fuel that a good system runs off of. And we don't get that from anything that's external. You can never find that out there. And you can never get enough energy. You can never get enough love from another. You can never get enough happiness or any kind of retribution. No retribution is going to pay the toll for your own sovereignty and for your connection to source and unconditional love. Though that's an internal piece at that 0 point of the torvidal, that is that great pearl connected line that is to source, is to God, is to your creator, is to your before and after. And if you can't adjust that, if you can't get with that, if you can't own that and accept it in your heart, in your soul, way deep in that point, that's that connected point, that's where your problem lies. That's where your work needs to start at, because that's where everything comes from. That's where good health comes from. That's where happiness comes from. Longevity, vitality, inspiration, all of these things, a good service births out of there. We each are given a gift of service. We each are given qualities of isness to develop through our own section of this fractal parameter that we've been given. There's, talents and weaknesses. There's good attributes and bad attributes. That all of these things need to be harnessed and balanced. We don't need to over amplify good things to sort of get away from the bad things, or section down on the bad things so completely to take them all apart to just have the good things left. They, in fact, work all with each other in finding a harmonious newness in between those things that is completely you, that is completely unique to your development. And, in fact, that makes God smile, that makes the Creator laugh. It's the mysterious newness that infinity knows is capable of and is there to unlock, but has let finite pieces go and unlock it on their own in free will and in exploration of manyness. And so by doing that good work, by getting involved in that for yourself, by connecting with those things, you turn that mechanism on. You feel the flow. You feel the energy. You'll get the tingles. You'll get the goosebumps. You'll feel the resonance of power within you. I have a calling. I have a thing to do. I have an idea. I have a capability. I have a resource that's available. I'm in a specific set and setting that allows A, B, and C for me to come together and promote or offer to the collective, or offer to my small direct collective around me, my community. Everyone has an integral piece and portion to whole of humanity that's meant to be explored and developed. Otherwise you wouldn't have come to conception. Conception is not just dice roll, dice roll, dice roll, oh, it happened. It's much more complex than that. It's much more important and special than that. We all are. And if we own that and really get comfortable in knowing that, it doesn't mean you have to know what your destiny is. It doesn't mean you have to know your A, B, and C things that you've been gifted. It just means that the recognition that those things are in here somewhere, I've got to uncover them, I've got to go dig and find them, that is what is asked of you. And then to do that quiet contemplation, to do that internal digging, to pull out all of those toys from your inner toy box and really look at them and be excited about them and have friends to share them with. That's the kind of, I'm losing the light now, it's going to start to get dark. Nope. Sorry about that. But not in a studio, just in real life here. So yeah, and I didn't put my little corner light on this morning because I thought the light was great. But anyway, just to commit to that work, just to say, I don't know what I'm here for really, but I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to figure it out. That's the key. That's the skeleton key to any door you ever come upon, or come up to. And, God crafted that key. He gave it to you, or source, or whatever you want to see as that great before and after. That is that space. You were granted this key and this space in the before and after, and you've come through to the here and now for a reason, So yeah, understanding that sovereignty designates purpose and reason, that the only reason that you have this boundary of self, that you're in isness, is that you're on purpose with purpose. Creator consciousness doesn't set a label without having a word that it needs to label it with. Things do not come into birth, do not come into life without a purpose behind it, without designated intelligent design, or the blueprint that says not just what the structure is, but that there's functionality with it as well. So even if especially when we don't know what it is, that's awesome. It's great. Don't feel less than or scared or worrisome or like you were forgotten and fallen the cracks. It's not possible. It just is a time for you, or even me, you know, when I get into these things, I can easily put myself in these shoes as well. I'm speaking to myself. I make these videos for myself, you know, but when you get into this place where we think, oh, I don't know, or I don't remember, that's the time that we just sit, that you need to do inner discovery with yourself. And people say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, my mind. Oh, this. I can't sit still. I have problems. I have physical issues. I have mental problems. You know, I speak from experience, and I've come through all that kind of stuff. So I hear it and I get it. But that just means even more that unfortunately you need to do the work. You know, that there's no two ways about it. And the longer that you skirt around and worry about climbing the mountain and walk around this side and walk around that side and look up at it and say, oh, so I can't get up there, that's just deterring you from the experience of trying. Instead, just try one little thing. Just try to sit for a few minutes. You'll be surprised. You really will. I'm going to end this video, but just lead up and say that guided meditations are wonderful for people who at first have a difficulty with silencing the mind, or even if you're learning how to silence the mind, but you're having a lot of those kind of intrusive thoughts, they call it these days. But having a voiceover guide is great. I am going to be, you know, I've made some before. I'll try to link some of them down here in the description, some of the meditations I've done. But I'm going to be offering in the videos to come as well some more walkthroughs of this, some, you know, meditations. Whenever I offer meditations, I always hope that my led language will lead others to self-led practices where they're using their own language, interpreting things, and creating that experience in their own way that tailor fits to their needs and their wants at that time. And if you can look online, there's plenty of people I'm sure who offer out things like this already, but to know that in the weeks to come I'll do some videos on that as well. But it's always my intention that not that people need to follow my parameters or do what I did, but just that these are things that help me or help me currently. And I hope that by exposing people and offering out those kinds of things, that it will encourage, you know, others and inspire others to do their own thing. You know, yeah, if mine helps you, wonderful. And if you like it, great. You know, it's there. It's free. Try it out. But the point is that to really make it your own and to learn how to do it on your own. Not that you have to go and make your own meditations or record yourself or anything like that, but you learn the inner voice and learn how to do that on your own, inside your own imagination space. Because that really is the key for us each to develop our imagination space, our heart center, and, you know, of course, the gut, the mind, body, gut is all these three centers are crucial to balancing the whole system. And there's many other layers to the system. I put out a video a couple days ago, super long blab about, you know, breaking it down into energy centers in a tower model like I use. I like that version. But even just understanding the signification of the three centers, you know, and working with that on your own is highly beneficial. So thanks for listening to me this morning, and I hope you've got something out of it. Feel free to leave me comments, send me emails if you'd like to. My email's always in the description. Love to hear feedback from others. So yeah, see you next time.